I can't. I love it because like the Google Docs updated, like it made your your typing lag seem even slower for me.
Well, no, because the fucking backspace is stuck on this keyboard and I can't dig it out. So every time I try to backspace, I gotta like hammer it home. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Frying Pan Podcast, your mother's favorite pop culture podcast. And it's me, your lovable 5'2" host, Daniel, short for Paniel Sear. And I'm here with my just ever so handsome, lovable best friend.
The 6'1", 198 pounds of pure muscle, Robert Polo D'Onofrio. How you doing?
Doing lovely. I can attest to the 100% muscle. We did a test to see how much body fat Bobby had, and he was at -5. And to most people, it's like, well, that's really unhealthy. But he actually is storing his fat in everyone else's bodies.
Yeah, like, put it this way, my bones got muscle of their own. Yeah.
They say
100% muscle.
Yeah.
Nope. Screw it, actually. No bones. I'm a snake.
They say, Bobby...
Snakes have bones?
No. Maybe. It's hard to say. But the doctors have told Bobby numerous times, please stop drinking milk. Your bones are going to splinter and crack. But Bobby says, good, because if I keep breaking them, they'll come back stronger, and then my bones will never break. My day was...
Joke's on you. I can already chew through trees.
You know, that's good. I don't know where that's going to come in handy, but whatever makes you happy makes me happy.
I have a job as a professional wood chipper. Joke's on you.
Lucky man. I don't think
And I get my daily dose of fiber.
Oh, good for you, man. I hope it's doing well. Anywho, what's up?
What's up for me? Well, Game of Thrones started this past weekend,
Ooh.
so
Well,
I actually will I defy all laws of physics now. Like, say if there's a car charging at me, like the car hits me, but I don't move at all, but the car gets wrecked because I can't die now until I see how the show ends. So
okay.
For the next 8 weeks, I'm basically immortal, so do with that what you will.
I was a little lost on where you were going with that, but it came full circle. It worked out. But we're gonna get into our Game of Thrones recap towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Do we want to do spoilers?
We don't. Want to know why we don't want to do spoilers? Because spoilers are bad.
Well, I feel like if we give a warning, like if we give like a non-spoiler version and then like a baby spoiler version, it's okay.
I guess it really depends on what we're spoiling. Because, I mean, episode 1, I mean, it was more like build-up stuff, really,
Yeah,
so...
Exactly. But we'll get into that later into the episode. But
Definitely. But, yeah, had that, so watched the most recent season before the premiere with my near and dear friend, Jordan Thurston. Okay, so this past weekend, actually, I ate a metric shitload of just pure crap food, junk food. Like, I had Chinese, I had pizza, I had chips, I had a burger, I had chicken nuggets, I had fries, I had a milk. Like, basically, like, I'm like a walking heart attack right now.
Yeah, the 7-year-old inside me is just dying.
Yeah, like, I felt great eating it, but let me tell you, the next day afterwards, like, I wanted to die.
Yeah, it's like a hangover, honestly.
Well, I mean, it was a hangover. Heck, if you wiped your hand across my forehead, it would come back with a new layer of grease on it.
Oh, no thank you.
Yeah, no, it was disgusting. So, needless to say, ever since then, I've only eaten, like, carrots and spinach. Or, I guess baby carrots aren't real carrots, according to our friend Alex.
I'm not getting into that. I don't give a fuck. I like my baby carrots. Why would I buy a full-size carrot if I just want to eat the carrots as like a little side piece?
I 100% agree with you, and people that don't know what we're talking about probably are confused. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, Google it if you want.
It's not worth the Google. Just keep eating your carrots.
Just eat carrots. Fun fact: carrots don't help your eyesight, but that's
God.
Kind of unrelated. That's whatever.
I did it. Okay, so I didn't know that until like I was like 10, and I consider that kind of like embarrassingly late because I've worn glasses since kindergarten, and I thought if I just kept eating carrot, fuck. Give me a second. I thought that like until 10, if I just kept eating carrots, like my eyesight would improve because I hated wearing glasses when I was a kid.
Mm.
So like every meal, I would have like at least a bag full of baby carrots that I'd just be munching on. Like that was my snack up until I was 10 when I realized I was just betrayed.
Oh, that's unlucky. That's actually really sad, but
It genuinely was. Like I didn't eat carrots probably for like 2 years after that until until I was like 12 or 13 because I just felt wrong.
they look, it's an intervention. They're like, Bobby, we have something here for you. And they just put like a bowl of carrots in front of you, and you're like, what's that?
Well, yeah, I didn't find out until one of the neighborhood kids was just like, "Why do you always have carrots as a snack, Bobby?" And I was like, "Well, I really want my eyesight to improve." And he was an older kid, so he asserted his dominance by letting me know how dumb I was for thinking that. And I was like, "Mom, is this true?" She's like, "Well, yeah, he's right."
If the shoe fits where they say, Bobby.
Yeah. So, fuck carrot. I mean, I love carrots.
Yeah.
That was me. How about you?
I am fine. I have nothing special.
Nothing special.
GoT.
Every day's a gift, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm just so blessed to be in the present right now that I just cherish every day, so nothing feels too out of the ordinary anymore.
I like that. I like that.
Oh, I get to do a little me and my family, we do kind of like a monthly get together at a restaurant. We keep switching up on who chooses where to go. So we're doing that on Thursday. It's nice to sit down and have a meal with your family. I think it's a very, very underrated thing.
I 100% agree with you. I'm big on family dinners. Yeah. Who gets to choose this time around?
Mama's choosing because it was her birthday. I don't really remember where we're going, but I'll figure it out on Thursday.
When was the last time you chose?
I started it because I started a group chat and I said, "Hey, let's go to dinner," because I wanted Bidwell wings, and it was the best excuse to go to the Bidwell.
I see.
Yes, Bidwell. We talked.
If you live in Connecticut,
great wing place in Coventry. Can't stress it enough.
If you live in Connecticut and you like wings, screw Buffalo Wild Wings. Those are imitation.
Garbage.
Go to the Bidwell.
Please.
I love how I'm gatekeeping wings.
Well, if it's any consolation, or if you need the extra push, they did win an award for having the best wings. So, shimmy on down.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Same old. We're just chilling.
I feel you, man.
Got any positivity to spread this week? Any good things?
In my life, any kinds of positivity. Actually, okay. So I got my cat a cat tree a while back because I noticed he is attempting to get in like every high place possible. So
yeah,
figured he wanted a high perch, and he's just now realizing its intentions. So I don't actually have to physically put him on there much anymore. He decides to go up there on his own, which is nice.
That is good.
So it's actually cute as hell because it's in my room because I like the little guy watching over me while I'm on the PC. And I rounded the corner and he was just up there perched looking at me like, "Hey man, look at me, I did it myself." And I was just proud of the little guy.
That's cute. I like that a lot.
So that's my positivity.
Well, good. I'm glad you got
something
positive. I got new protein powder today. It's a very big tub. And
what flavor did you go with?
Cookies and cream, and it's very good. No,
is it?
Yeah. I was like, I'm taking a real risk on this one, but I was like, all right, cookies and cream. Well, because my sister is also like, can you try and get one that I can put in smoothies? And I don't think peanut butter would go well in all smoothies, so I was like, I'll try and find a nice middle.
I was thinking in my head, like, what would a peanut butter smoothie be good with, and I really can't think of many.
Bananas, strawberries.
Okay.
Well, it's chocolate peanut butter. So.
Honestly, in my head, like, I just pictured, like, a tablespoon of peanut butter in my blueberry smoothies, and that's disgusting to me. So,
Yeah, that one's not that good. But
you ever put spinach in your smoothies?
no.
I do. It's actually delicious.
I like my smoothies to be real fruity. I can't get the veggies in there.
I only put spinach really just because if you do, it really doesn't bring much taste to it, but it's still you're like nice some greens because I don't always get my daily dose of those.
Yeah, no, I feel that. As long as you're bettering yourself in any way you can, that's all that matters. Yeah. And also in the box it came with like a bunch of samples, so that was cool, of like different flavors. Yeah. So.
It's like a roulette to see which one will actually give your taste buds just fucking terminal cancer.
Yeah. A little something like that.
I know it sounds brazen, but like the one time I've tried protein powder, it was like vanilla, and it was the worst tasting thing I've ever drank before.
Vanilla's really, really sweet. It's not desirable for me because I had it for a while and I just couldn't get over it.
Yeah. You ever drink straight vanilla?
Like vanilla extract?
Yeah.
Yeah, one time when I was a kid because I was curious, spoiler alert, doesn't taste like vanilla ice cream.
No, it doesn't at all. No, I got trolled actually into trying it.
Did you?
Yeah, it wasn't even on my radar to try it. I'm like, oh, it smells like vanilla. You put it in pancakes and shit like that, whatever. Freaking uncle comes up. Hey, here, try some. Tastes like vanilla. You like that, right? No, I did not like that.
Oh, thank you, sir, but thank you for the offer.
Yeah, right.
All right, let us jump into some topics.
Let's dive right in.
We got
no lifeguard on duty though. Be careful.
Oh, that's true. We got a few ones. This is a little bit of breaking news. Not really, because it happened on Monday, but yesterday for us. Kind of wanted to start with the Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. Originally, a lot of people were saying that it was unrepairable, but it turns out like the damage is definitely salvageable.
Oh yeah, there's actually quite a bit that is salvageable. There's even parts of it that are almost fine. So I know the two towers of it, for the most part, are fine. The roof's fucked. Most of the roof is fucked, and then the chorus section, I can't remember what it's called. But it's damaged, but repairable.
Yeah. So it wasn't as bad as it originally was made out to be, but...
Well, the tower did fall, which is, like...
Yeah.
Horrific. I don't know if you've seen the footage of that, but it's just sad.
Yeah, it's unsettling. I don't think anyone knows what started the fire yet.
No, as of right now, when we're recording this on the...
16th,
we do not know. No.
But what we do know is that a French billionaire named, pretty sure, François Henri Pinault, probably. He's the chairman of a luxury group, Kering. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's like what would you call it? Like a parent owner to like brands like Gucci and Saint Laurent, like those kind of luxury brands.
Like usually, I know in like the business world, when it comes to like a specific name or a person or a group of people that just own a whole shit ton of brands, they just like say their last name, call it a group.
Yeah, that makes sense. But he pledged 100 million euros or 113 million US dollars to help rebuild the cathedral.
Which is really cool. But on top of that, as of a few hours ago, another French billionaire, who I don't have the name of, nor do I know his credentials, in order to one-up this guy, or I don't think he was actually one-upping, but he pledged 200 million euros as well to the efforts of rebuilding it.
Imagine if that was like your kind of like betting against your friends, where it's like, you're only donating 100 million euros? Ha! Look at this.
Well, I guess charitable in that case, because it is charitable, it's not bad.
Yeah, really, it's not bad by any means, but it's like having that as like a, I don't know, not really a joke, but like a kind of competition thing, like all fun and well. But yeah, that was kind of like a nice little faith restored. There is good in the world.
So over 300 euros so far committed to the rebuilding, which is nice. But what I saw on the internet about it was kind of depressing. People were saying, how can we how come within the first day, 300 million euros or around 350 million US dollars can be raised in a day, but for places like Puerto Rico and Haiti and like all these places of disasters, that money's nowhere to be found. I just thought that was annoying. Like,
yeah, I don't think that's just. I was gonna say I don't think that's justifiable in this thing. Like, I understand that perspective in a lot of things, but when this is just like, a very old famous national monument that is very rooted to the culture, and people want to see it rebuilt, that have the means to do so.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like I understand like there's greater tragedies where there's loss of life and stuff, but you don't. One struggle doesn't have to take away from another. Just because one's seeing some form of like recognition doesn't mean another is like getting kicked to the side.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Screw the internet. Why you got to be depressing like that? Come on.
Just be happy with what we got going on right now, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
Actually, another thing that's pretty interesting. So I believe there's 2 or 3 stained glass windows in that cathedral, and they are a product of years of intricate medieval work. They're, in some places they're considered one of the most intricate and prized pieces of medieval artwork like ever created.
Mm-hmm.
And they are fine.
Really?
Which I found was pretty freaking cool, man. Yeah.
It was always good and the bad, I think, is the bottom line of that story.
Well, there definitely is silver linings here. I mean, of course, it sucks that it happened, but thankfully people are coming together, donating money, and then we're finding out that the damages aren't beyond repairable, which is litty.
Yeah, it was just scary because our friend put in like, oh, the Notre Dame is burned down right now. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So like I bust out my phone, check my news, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And then, actually, that's one thing I do want to point out. Because this is in the news lately, there's a few articles coming around that say that there was a car around the site of Notre Dame with like Islamic writings in it and shit like that. But the thing is, that article that's been flowing around that like people are trying to clickbait with, that is from 2016. There is no obviously we don't know what caused it, so terrorism is on the table, but it's not the leading possibility. I don't think any group has come out as of right now said that they've done it, so don't believe every news line you've seen as of, right now.
Yeah. I mean, if we find an update by the time I'm editing this, I'll slap in a little update, but...
Yeah, but I saw that on Facebook, and I just wanted to bring that to, the table because, people are saying, oh my God, what group did that? Well, that's the thing. It's not true. It's an old article. It's clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking actually on the world of clickbait, so Avengers Endgame, the whole movie and pictures, scenes, and GIFs, uncut footage, a lot of shit has been leaked, so be wary where you are on the internet.
Yeah, I'm trying to not go on Reddit or anything of that nature, just so I don't get spoiled. But
it's tough.
So people be aware of that. But
yeah, we got another two-ish weeks until it comes out. So best of luck, everyone out there.
Yeah. Actually, what'll be kind of cool is we'll see Avengers that Saturday, and it's rumored that the insanely big, like longest fight scene in cinematic history for Game of Thrones is going to be that Sunday.
Oh, I'm so hyped for this. For this month still.
Yeah, just a rumor, but.
You know what sufficiently died, actually? I haven't heard anything about Detective Pikachu.
Well, it's
at all.
It's a bit overshadowed. But
yeah, that's a definite.
We have a couple more pretty uplifting topics, actually. We're going to venture into the sports world here, Bobby.
What's that? A sport?
Yeah, this one's golf, something we've never talked about, but
that one's got little balls.
That one's got the little balls and the iron, and you gotta hit it from a distance into the hole. Pretty cool stuff. Even if you don't know golf, I'm pretty sure you know who Tiger Woods is.
Tiger!
Pretty recognizable name. But he, at 43 years old, he made a miraculous comeback. I wouldn't know if I'd say miraculous, but he made a comeback to win the Masters, which is like essentially the most anticipated tournament of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great comeback story because he's had his own personal things with affairs and such. We're not going to get into it because that doesn't make for a good story. But he had, I think, 3 back surgeries, tore an MCL, and probably a few other injuries. And he dropped out of like the top 1,000 golfers after being in the top, I'd say, 10 for years. And he finally made a comeback, and he's back on top for the moment. It was very nice to see.
Yeah, I like seeing all the pictures of him looking all wacky and stuff while he was cheering. That was his 5th Masters title, right?
Yep. It's first one, and I think the last one he won was in like 2005 or 2003.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's been a while.
How old is Tiger Woods? He's like 40-ish, right?
Tiger Woods is 43. I think he's one of the oldest peoples. He's one of the oldest people to win the Masters too.
That's nice.
It's interesting because like I pay no attention to golf, and I know a majority of people don't pay attention to golf, but a story like this will turn heads for people because you love a good comeback story. Nothing's better than that.
Yeah. I like seeing all the headlines where he was like cheering at himself because he looks so pumped and happy.
Yeah.
And then you get some dickhead that just links a picture of him without his hat, and you can see all the receding hairlines and shit.
It's fading a little bit. Well, he's probably in the boat of most like golfers where it's like the hat doesn't come off unless it has to, like mandatory.
That's actually one of my greatest fears, to like become one of the middle-aged men or 30-plus-year-old men that like have to wear a cap.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. But yeah, he had a lot of people he had Obama, he had LeBron James, Serena Williams, Lionel Messi, all congratulating him and telling him they're proud of him. I don't know, man.
Were you ever into golf? I know I was never into golf. Did you have a golf phase at all?
No, my parents like golf. My dad wants to get into golf, but he never has the time to. Yeah. But there was a whole myth of Tiger Woods can't come back. He has to be ahead if he wants to win. So he broke that barrier. And I don't know. I can't talk too much on it because I'm not too well versed in golf for Tiger Woods, but it's nice to see him kind of recover after all the things he's been through in the past like 5 or so years. Because what was it? The first thing was he was backing out of his driveway and he hit something, and that transpired in like affairs, and then he finally got back to golf. People were excited for that, and he was never the same. Then he had a fuck ton of injuries, and then Sunday he fought back from all that, and there he was. So moral of the story, kids, don't give up. Keep on trucking along. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's actually those Masters jackets that you get? I don't know if you know it. Basically, if you're a golfer and you get a Masters title, you're given pretty much just a green blazer.
Yeah.
That has like a patch on it. No matter how many titles you win, you're only allowed one of those jackets.
Which is kind of a tragedy.
Yeah, and they take it back as well.
Yeah.
It's a jacket. Give them more than one.
Yeah, like, okay. Prize pools for golf are pretty fucking big too. I don't think you can get rid of one or two maybe.
Right, that's like going to the Super Bowl and saying, "All right, you won last year, so you don't get your ring."
Yeah.
Like what?
All right, one ring, guys. You can only do one. So, fuck. Okay, my bad.
My bad.
My fault. But
yeah, golf.
I'm just happy.
Actually, speaking of holes, though.
Ooh.
So, this past week, the first picture of a black hole comes up and was released. It is the leading astrophysicist, I believe. I'm not entirely sure what her actual job title is, but her name is like Katie Bouman, and she led the development for the algorithm which made it possible to capture the image of the black hole.
Very cool.
But yeah, so this massive black hole, a picture was captured of it, and it was in a galaxy called M87, which is a little bit more than 50 million light years away.
Not that bad.
Yeah, not that bad. I mean, realistically, it made big news just because, like, this is the first ever picture of one. It essentially is just a blurry orange ring.
Yeah.
but it means a lot because we've known they're out there. We know they're possible. We haven't seen them though.
Yeah, I mean it's impressive, and it's one of those things where it's weird that it happens in our lifetime, but yeah, because I know this is something that's been in the works for a while. There's been quite a build up. Side note, it looks like the blacked out sun and the final boss in Dark Souls, but that's a little unrelated. Some might get that, but that's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. So according to the Science News article, the image aligns. This is from the article. The image aligns with the expectations of what a black hole should look like based on Einstein's general theory of relativity, which predicts how space-time is warped by an extreme mass of a black hole.
Isn't sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
There you go.
Isn't the center of a black hole like it's so black that you can't see anything, or something of that nature?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I'm sure that's like what's said. I mean, as far as I know, this is like the first image of one, so I don't know how that could have really been said otherwise. But
could have been a theory.
Essentially, like, so I was watching a science YouTube video a while back, and the way black holes are formed, I'm not going to even try and describe it just because I won't do it justice, nor will I probably get any of it right. It's just so damn interesting. So to anyone listening, if you got some free time and you're just relaxing, go on to YouTube and just how are black holes formed. And it's the coolest shit because there's a specific video that talks about like if you were to like shrink Earth down to the size of a marble or the sun down to the size of a marble, its own weight would compress in on itself and a black hole would instantly be created. It's cool shit like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but black holes.
Yeah.
Which is
interesting. I like the segue, by the way.
Thank you. No, man, I wish in our lifetime we would have someone go into a black hole, though. I want to know what's on the other side. Is it a different dimension like people are trying to guess? Does it teleport you 200 miles away? I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know the implications of what a black hole is.
Yeah, I don't.
At all.
I mean, besides, like, sci-fi shit and people's theories, I don't think we'll ever know for probably thousands of years.
The only thing I know is that it's a super massive thing with a lot of mass that pulls things in. That's all I know.
And that's all we know.
Yeah, we'll put a picture or a link to the picture in the description. It's pretty cool looking. I mean, I imagine your expectations is some big swirly thing, but quite literally, it's just an orange ring, a blurry orange ring. But it still means something.
Yeah. It's not about what it looks like. It's about the message.
The implications.
The implications. I agree. And I'm down to clown with that.
He's around the clown.
Gonna backtrack a little bit. I don't really have a good segue for this one. But, Boston Marathon happened, the 123rd Boston Marathon, and interestingly enough, the finish line came down to like a photo finish where the dude lost by essentially 0.5 of a second.
Jeez.
Yeah, which is impressive that they were able to like, they're jogging all the way through, and it's just impressive that they can still like pick up the pace after running for 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know, I think marathon runners are one of the coolest athletes just because of that. Like their endurance levels.
Yeah, there's so much training that has to go into marathons. It's ridiculous. By no means is it worth, in my opinion, unless you go to a lot of them or you want to get in a good shape. But Jesus, the amount of effort that goes into it is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, definitely. So for the people that didn't know, just the countries that the top 5 are from. First place, I'm not going to try and pronounce names because honestly, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, they're
first place guy is from Ethiopia. Second is from Kenya. Third is United States. Fourth is also Ethiopia, and fifth is the U.S. as well.
So we're up there.
Your top 5.
Yeah, normally Kenya and Ethiopia are always at the top. They got good endurance, man. Can't beat them.
Third place so first place was completed in 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 31 seconds. And third place for the US was completed in 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's for the women's elite race.
Hmm? Oh yeah, women's elite. Sorry, I was reading out the women's elites. Is that not what I was supposed to be reading out?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you were reading out like the men's one.
No,
My bad.
the men's ones. The top five is freaking Kenya with 2 hours and 7 minutes and 57 seconds, and then the other guy that you were talking about is from Ethiopia, and then the other three are from Kenya as well.
Yeah, but
yeah, I should have said that I was reading off the women's ones. Now I think about it.
no, it's fine. It's fine. But one thing that I thought was really cool that's not in this article, but there was a Twitter video that came out of a man who was he was close to the finish line, and he essentially his legs gave out, but he continued to crawl to the finish line, and they interviewed him after on why he didn't give up, and he said he was doing it because I guess he was a Marine. He was doing it for two people that passed away in like an IED explosion in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
So he was running for them and their families, which I thought was very, very wholesome.
Do you think you would ever run a marathon?
I would. It's actually on my bucket list, believe it or not.
Really?
I want to one day, probably like late 30s, run in a marathon. I would like to do the Boston Marathon, but I don't think I could. But I think if I gave it enough time, I could. I don't know. I think training for it would be interesting. I feel like it'd also be like a good thing to like document it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like,
how long is a marathon? It's like like 26 miles.
I think so. I mean, there's different variables.
Okay, so obviously these guys are top runners that have probably trained near close to all their lives to get 26 miles done in 2 hours. But
yeah,
I mean, no matter where I am in my life, it'll probably take me like 7 hours to 18 hours to complete 26 miles.
Yeah, I think realistically, I think I could do like 12 or 14 miles in like 2.5 hours.
That sounds understandable for like your normal athleticness.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it Sunday. Maybe I'll just run for a long time and we'll see how well it goes.
See if your heart gives out.
Yeah, and like when I'm just passed out on the side of the road, you'll get a call from me and be like, "Hey, Bobby, I need you."
In like a zombie apocalypse or something, and I just so happen to be one of the survivors, all a zombie would have to do is try to run me down for 2 miles, and then I'd be SOL.
Well, here's the thing: if you're thinking like a zombie apocalypse, you need the different types of. All right, you got a fast guy, you got a strong guy, you got a smart guy, and then you got like I don't know, fucking the other people. But you would be the strong guy, I think. So like, say we're getting chased down, we're getting back into a corner. We need you with the sledgehammer to swing across and knock him dead.
Okay, I like that actually. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta play to your strengths is what it comes down to.
All right, bet. So essentially, zombie apocalypse. Throw me in a city with some rollerblades and a sledgehammer.
Very true. Rollerblades and sledgehammer. Have you tried rollerblading in recent history?
Yeah, actually, I'm quite good at it.
Really, dude? I could never.
Yeah, I can't ice skate, but I can rollerblade.
I can't do either. Actually, I don't think I've tried ice skating.
See, well, I guess technically neither have I. It's just the blades on them scare me because I was on the internet at an earlier age than I should have been, and I found my way onto a video of someone slipping into another person with their ice skates and completely severing one of their main arteries in their leg.
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
So haven't really wanted to give it a try.
I haven't really got back out on the ice, believe it or not, but it's all right.
Yeah, but to me, rollerblading's a lot easier than roller skating.
Well, I would ban ice skating, just like Prince Harry wants to ban Fortnite.
Oh, that article is so cringy. You saw his reasoning?
Remind me.
Okay, so he goes... I believe this is a statement that he gave. the game shouldn't be allowed. Where is the benefit of having it in your household? It's created to addict, an addiction to keep you in front of a computer for as long as possible. It's irresponsible. It's like waiting for the damage to be done and kids turning up on your doorsteps and families being broken down. What?
Yeah, and another like main thing of it was that he tried to blame the game as why some parents aren't like being parents for their kids.
Well, that's the thing. He literally added more addictive than alcohol and drugs. Fucking what?
Yeah, no,
What?
I don't think so. Well, all right, here's the thing: your kid's playing too much Fortnite. You just set a fucking timer, or they can't play past here.
Take their power cord.
Yeah, take the fucking Xbox away and be like, hey, set up a play date with the kid down the street. Go have fun. Go play outside.
Like that's the thing. Like it only got to be an issue because parents probably were like, "Well, he's not bothering me."
Yeah. What's like people try to pin this on like games, media, or like social media and like just any form of entertainment. Well, it's like if you don't want your kid to be like this, it is on the fucking parent, not the game, for your kid to not be addicted. It is as simple as just being like, you're not going to keep playing. And if they throw a hissy fit, I'm not advocating for a backhand across the face, but my dad maybe like 12 years ago might have not disagreed. And I turned out fine.
Well, it's like, okay, so game addiction is now classified as a genuine addiction. So that means there's got to be some science behind it, so I can't discredit that.
Yeah, I suppose.
But, like, it's definitely, like, it's feasibly controlled, you know? Like, if you gotta let it... Like, a kid doesn't play Fortnite one time and he starts shaking from withdrawals after you take it away from him. It's gotta be, like, months of neglect to get a kid so hooked on something that people would say he's addicted.
Yeah. I mean, like, if your kid's spending more than, like, I'd say, like, 3 hours consecutively playing a game, that's an issue.
So, I guess earlier in the month, a GP told an 11-year-old boy that he was prescribing a 2-week ban from computer games such as Fortnite and Minecraft.
Oh, if you're taking away Minecraft, that's too far. Minecraft has good morals and good... You're teaching kids how to fucking build. You're teaching your kid how to be an independent entrepreneur at a young age.
Well,
kinda.
The moral of the story is people are pretty divided on whether or not they think it's like should be considered an addiction or not.
Wait, research shows that 200 divorces in the UK from January to September 2018 mentioned addiction to Fortnite and other online gaming as one of the reasons for relationship breakdown. If your kid playing video games is making you divorce, maybe the relationship isn't good in the first place.
Wait, is that what that means? Wouldn't it be like the spouse is just playing too much, like that like basketball player or whatever that like had a hand injury from playing it?
Oh, that's true. I mean, that could be the thing, but also if that's the case, the relationship just doesn't work out then. You have your own issues to work out.
I don't know. I guess I do have a pretty strong bias being the gamer I am.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm coming at it very biased, but it's also like
it's dumb.
It's not hard to see both sides of the spectrum on this at all.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've probably played video games equating to half the amount of time I've been alive in hours.
Oh yeah.
And I've gone weeks up to months without touching a video game without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also have had, times in my life where I'm like, God, all I want to do is go home and play video games.
Oh yeah, I feel that. But it's also...
So it's like...
It's not like I'm willing to ruin some aspect of my life so I can play Fortnite.
Like, exactly. I feel like it's kind of almost offensive for people that are actually dealing with addiction to really classify Fortnite as an addictive substance.
Yeah. I would say it is a lot more difficult to shake a heroin addict than it is to shake someone from playing Fortnite.
Well, I also feel like, a video game addiction or to Fortnite in general, like that requires a lot more work on the person's part. Like you have to actively keep playing it for hours at a time over a long period before you probably like. No one's hooked on a game after the first 6 hours of playing it. You're probably hooked on heroin though after the 6th time you've tried it.
No, honestly, it's sad. It just seems like people being out of touch. And people
I
just
think
not
it's sad that
like my main. Sorry,
all I want to say is that Prince Harry, a very notable figure in the UK, for some reason, is talking about it. Just why?
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Go be a prince. Do prince things. Go play
Like
Fortnite.
the headline to the article, or one of the taglines for the article, is Prince Harry has called for the ban on Fortnite, saying the survival game beloved by teenagers around the world was created to addict. What? Why is that on his radar?
Fucking chocolate was created to addict. Food is created to addict.
Like, what?
There's a million things. It's just so fucking stupid. Ugh.
Just why? Like, okay. What do you think the closest you've been to addicted to a game is?
Probably, like, a few months ago when I got into Warframe. But, like, I would pull all-nighters on the weekend knowing that I had nothing to do the next day. But I wouldn't, like, oh, man, I got work on Tuesday. I can play for 9 more hours and then go to work. Like, I wasn't neglecting my health. And also, like, I don't know if it applies to us, or, like, if this article applies to us, since we have, like, responsibilities and, like, freedom to think, like, oh, I need to do this today. But, like, for kids, I don't think it comes down to the kids more or less than it comes down to the parents actually, like,
most definitely
parenting their children.
Shit, if I was, like, 8 years old and my dad was, like, just felt that I had too much fun for the day, it was just like, all right, turn off, go upstairs, you're done. And I'd be like, okay, guess so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll baby rage about it for, like, a second if I was having a lot of fun, but it was like, I'll just play tomorrow. Or I'll just play another day.
Exactly. I'm freaking. You're 12. What? You got nothing tomorrow, anyways.
Yeah, literally. Oh no, I gotta get up for 8 to go to class or school. Ooh.
No, I will say, kids are pretty freaking dumb. Like when I was 12, it wasn't Fortnite I was addicted to. It was World of Warcraft. Actually, I would say is my closest addiction because genuinely, I did pull all-nighters on school nights and shit to play that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, once my grades suffered slightly from it, my dad was like, hey, now, this shit keeps up, your computer's going out the window.
Well, yeah, that was the thing, is I remember back in the day, I was a little Call of Duty gamer on my Xbox, and when my grades dropped from being, like, A's and B's to B's and C's, my parents were like, no, you're good. You're good for a few months. And, like, me at the time, I'm like, but Dad, I gotta play the new Call of Duty. When in reality, it's like, maybe I should get an education. Maybe I should care about it a little more. Who knows?
Well, like, that's the thing. Like, so Prince Harry's coming out saying kids are getting addicted to it. So, like, the only, like, negative side, I guess, really, is, like, their grades would be suffering. But the parent should be like, hey, champ, get those grades up, or our Xbox is freaking dead.
Yeah, it just comes down to parenting. Like, if you don't love your kid and you want to just let him play Fortnite for, like, 12 hours a day, you go right on ahead.
Honestly, it's definitely a trap to be fallen into. I mean,
yeah,
like,
to be fair.
I imagine at first a lot of parents were like, all right, cool, this little shit's not breaking something.
Yeah, honestly. But then,
I don't know,
if your kid's fucking breaking things, then that's just your kid. All right, do you think it's time for Game of Thrones recap? Hey, spoiler alert here. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones Episode 1 for the next couple minutes. We're going to play music, and when the music stops, we're going to get into spoilers. You can skip ahead like 3 minutes, and there won't be any spoilers.
All right, yeah, that works. That's a good idea, actually.
All right,
that's
so
a banger idea.
We are entering spoiler territory. Cue the music.
Now, baby, your cast will still on.
And now we're we're into spoiler territory.
Attention, we are in full spoiler mode.
Brand's a fucking weirdo.
Dude,
First off.
he is absolutely whack. And let me say, the memes have already claimed this, but how many freaking wheelchair ramps does Winterfell have?
This man is appearing everywhere, and I understand he's a three-eyed raven now. He's a cosmic being. Maybe he's just like, I want to place myself here, and he does a little ninjutsu thing with his fingers, and he's there. Well, okay, actually, can he move his hands? Is he paralyzed from the neck down or the waist down?
No, he's got to be able to move his hands, because remember when he was handing the dagger over, he was just like, here's the dagger.
Oh, that's true. But the one line that really stuck out to me was when John greeted him, and he's like, "You're a man now," and he's like, "Not yet." So, one theory out there is that Bran's the Ice King, or is going to be, and I think that one's kind of viable at the moment.
Well, I know that was gaining traction a while back because the clothes that he was wearing when he was training to be the Three-Eyed Raven looked just like the Night King's.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like how the hell are they going to warp that in?
I mean, let's be honest, they've done weirder things.
I mean, yeah, but that's like so out there though.
Yeah. But anyways, recap, Jon Snow, Daenerys, all the goons, they're back up north. Shanja, she doesn't like Daenerys. She's not a big fan.
Well, no one likes Daenerys, actually.
Well, yeah, no one likes her, but I was saying she's one of the important people that definitely doesn't like her.
Yeah.
She...
Arya and Jon had their reunion. Hell yeah.
Very cute. I was very happy to see that.
Oh, it warmed my heart.
Yeah. Jon rode a dragon.
In more ways than one.
Oh, if you know what I'm saying. It was very weird. The CGI wasn't that bad, though. I'm gonna give it to him. It wasn't that bad.
Alright, so everyone, I'm assuming that if you're still listening, that means you've probably watched the episode or don't care. Go and watch, like, the last, what was it, probably like the 15 minutes where that scene came in?
Yeah.
Basically, Daenerys is like, "Hey, Jon, keep me warm if you know what I mean," after flying off somewhere on the dragon. And as they're, like, getting into it and making out and shit, there's just a big hulking dragon just giving him the old stare down, like, "Hey, I know you guys are related, but you don't know yet."
Well, yeah, that was one thing I kind of should have set him off, where it was like, only a Targaryen can ride a dragon. Jon's like, I can ride a dragon. Just no thought. But then his boy comes down. Bran's like, I'm waiting for an old friend. You gotta go tell Jon the truth. And he runs down and he's like, Jon, you're fucking your aunt.
No, your aunt burned my family. My aunt? Yeah, you're fucking your aunt. What?
Yeah. My aunt, your aunt. No, your aunt. So my aunt? Yeah, your aunt.
Yeah. And then he was like, "Hey, you should be king." And all I could think of was, yes, another cheap way of starting conflict.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think he wants to. So I think he'll just be like, she can do it. That's fine.
Well, actually, what's kind of interesting is, you know how he asked for a pardon for ninjaing those books from the cathedral or whatever the hell?
Yeah.
One of those books is the journal that contains Jon's true lineage, right? So basically, Daenerys gave him the pass on proving that she's not the rightful heir to the throne.
Yeah, that's true. But did she do that intentionally?
No, she did not,
Yeah,
obviously. I'm sure
say.
she's pretty keen on having that throne.
Yeah. And to finish the episode, Jaime is in Winterfell for whatever fucking reason. We don't know yet. But Bran's just sitting right there looking at him.
Oh, that was hysterical.
Yeah. I cannot stand it when the camera would pan to the side and he's just chilling in his makeshift wheelchair. And I'm just like, who fucking put you there?
There was some also pretty cool medieval art that the White Walkers did.
Yep. I'd imagine it's their sigil. But because it's come up before where it's basically like a circle in the middle and then kind of like circling rays.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of weird things about it. So, I know for one thing, like, people are saying it's kind of reminiscent of like the Targaryen sigil, so maybe like they were the first. He was the first Targaryens, shit like that. But then there's other people that are like, well, it could just be a cool symbol because that's all we know so far about it.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly neutral on the whole sigil thing at the moment, just because, or symbolism, I guess, of it, just because there's no point in racking your brain.
Yeah, we really don't know yet. But
yeah. Well, then again, I guess that's half the fun of it.
True. All right, we are now exiting spoiler territory.
Attention, we are no longer talking about spoilers.
I was gonna say episode 1 was good.
Yeah, episode 1 was good. So yeah, everyone that didn't want to listen to spoilers or hasn't watched the show yet, get on it. It's a great show. I really recommend it. But I definitely understand if you don't want to watch it. It's kind of a high mountain to climb so late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend if you want to watch it, just watch like a hour-long recap video on YouTube, because there's a plethora of them.
I mean, I would kind of disagree with that. I mean, realistically, the whole point of the show is to be invested in the many stories. So I feel like you wouldn't... Like, someone that's watched from the beginning would probably rate the show 10 out of 10 at the end of it, but someone that just watched the hour-long recap in Season 8 would probably just be like, good fighting.
Yeah, I mean...
Good CGI.
I was saying it from the perspective of like, oh wow, there's a lot of hype around it, I want to get in on it, but I don't want to watch the whole season. Like, obviously, I'd recommend, if you have the time and commitment, yes, start from the beginning and binge that shit, because you will get addicted and you will love it if you're into that. But if you're just like, but if you're just like, I don't really want to spend all the time, but I do want to have something to talk about at the water cooler at work, just watch a recap.
Yeah, actually, I saw a nice life pro tip. So, like, if you are just completely against watching the show and you're sick of people, like, being like, oh my god, you should watch it, to get them to stop talking about it, you could say, I just started watching the show, don't spoil it, and they are then obligated to shut up about it, out of respect.
That's a good point. I feel like most people that have watched Game of Thrones, if you say don't spoil it, nobody will spoil it.
Well, I mean, honestly, because ever since, I think it was like Season 7 or Season 6 that literally just had the spoilers posted on the internet without any context, people are pretty, like, serious now about that kind of shit.
Yeah, that was fucked. Or I remember, because I didn't watch from the beginning. I think I binge-watched Season 6, or, like, when Season 6 was coming out, I binge-watched there. And I remember, like, before that, when Jon Snow died, spoiler alert, sorry, that one's kind of old news. But, when he died, I saw it on Twitter, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, who's Jon Snow?
Oh, jeez.
I was like, why do they have such an HD picture of this man dead? Because I had no idea. I didn't even know what Game of Thrones was.
Yeah, I feel you there, actually. Especially without any context. You're like, oh no, who's that?
Yeah. But,
just a fictional character.
Oh, yeah. But definitely a good show.
Good show. Great show.
What do you think? How do you think people feel when it's over? Do you think we'll ever get, like, a TV series that can rival it anytime in our lifetime?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, because, like, the middle-aged women had True Blood. They all love that show. There's shows like Entourage and Sons of Anarchy, and there's a lot of other shows in the past that people have really loved and hate to see ending. But Game of Thrones has been breaking records for viewership and stuff like that. It's definitely gonna leave some form of like hole in a lot of people's like entertainment hearts. But I don't know. I feel like as like technology and CGI gets better, there's always gonna be something that could like fill the spot in terms of just like epicness at the very least.
Yeah.
I guess it really all depends on like if it's done right. Because I mean, Game of Thrones basically just I don't want to say they started small, obviously, but they kind of work their way up to greatness. They definitely weren't great off the first season. I know like most of the hype for the show pretty much started around season 3 and 4. That's when it was gaining like headlines.
Yeah. No, because I mean, I remember my personal watching, I didn't really care for season 1 or 2 all that much, but season 3 started to pick up, and I was like, okay, I understand why people are so high on this.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess it really all depends on like one, budget, and two, if the producers are willing to give it like the proper startup. Because I feel like that's important with shows like based off a certain source material, or even if not, like if they have to make it like interesting from the start, that could just break a show because they put all their production in areas where they're doing it just to fish hook people rather than keep people that are actually watching entertained.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
It's all about longevity as well. If a show is operating under the assumption that they're going to get, there's a good chance that they get canceled after one season. That could also ruin a show.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I hope so. I sure as hell hope another show comes along. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do without it.
You and a lot of people.
I mean, I guess I got the the last book to look forward to.
Yeah, whenever that comes out.
If he finishes it. God, if this bastard dies before he finishes it, I'm livid.
He's got time. Not really. Hopefully. Not a lot. He does have a lot.
My man's overweight and he's old.
Yeah, he was like, people are trying to get me to eat healthy. I don't like it. And I'm like, well...
It's like George R.R. Martin. If you die, people will be mad and sad at the same time. Come on.
Yeah. Final topic of the day. First Coachella weekend. Do you want to go to Coachella next year, Bobby?
Alright, let me tell you exactly why not. So, I would be there, and I would probably start having a heart attack because of the crowd, because I'm going to be real. I've never been in, like, a huge crowd before. Like, I've been in ones with, like, a couple hundred people and shit, like, at, like, I don't know, fairs, some low-grade concerts and shit like that. I feel like if I was met with the sheer amount of people in that densely packed area, I would start breaking down mentally. I'd be a different person.
To be fair, I don't know if you'd call it a venue, but the festival for Coachella is pretty big, and I wouldn't say it's too claustrophobic. I think it's the same amount of claustrophobic to if you were kind of in a mosh pit for a concert, depending on who you're seeing, obviously. But yeah. I definitely think I want to go to it one year, only once.
I could agree with that, but I'm not really the fun the sun type.
Me neither.
So like that's also a big reason why I wouldn't like. Hell, drugs, sure. Sun, eh.
Yeah, I mean, I think my whole thing is...
If there was a winter one, I would go.
Yeah, my whole thing is I just want to maybe try something new. Maybe give it a try. I don't think I would go back more than 1 year, but... Who's to say?
If I had a group of trusted friends that like could be my safe haven if I got overwhelmed, because genuinely, I don't know how I would react. I'm not really the party type, obviously, so if I had the boys there as support, I could probably go once.
Yeah.
As long as someone's there to make sure, I don't freaking, I don't know, take more than 2 tabs of acid at once or whatever.
Just the small things to worry about.
Yeah, as long as someone's making sure I don't try and fight a bull shark or something.
Oh, yes, the patented bull sharks that swim around on land at Coachella. You really got to watch out for them.
Hey, man, throw some drugs in me and watch me try and swim out into the ocean.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna fucking get that shark!
Jaws
ain't got shit!
I think that's where we wrap it up. I think this is where we call it quits.
Jaws ain't got shit. That's a title if I've ever heard one.
I like it.
I'm gonna name a book after that. Alright, folks, that's been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 24, actually. 24, man. That's it's almost a quarter.
Yeah.
Almost a quarter. So yeah, this episode's going up on the 18th, so happy tax season. That's over and done with for all you guys. Nice of you.
Unless you got an extension.
Unless you got an extension, but if you did, I mean, well, fuck, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, very true.
Right. So yeah, that's been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 24. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we have social media in the form of our Twitter and Instagram. The handle for both is the Frying Pan Pod. Sauce us over a follow. We would appreciate it. We're starting to post there pretty regularly. I know Daniel's popping off on Instagram. He's the boy.
You know me.
We also have an email where you can send over any business inquiries or comments or concerns or even some constructive criticism because like I always say, we do this to get better. We would appreciate it. And that email is, of course, just for a throwback to the old days. Dan, what's that email?
In the Pan Podcast at gmail.com.
So that's it, folks. In the Pan Podcast at gmail.com. And then if you're listening to us right now, which as always you have to be, because paradoxically that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Yeah, that means you're listening either on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, or YouTube. So thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. And if we can get a like on there or a star rating or whatever, we would also appreciate it. And in the comments on either of those, we would also appreciate any form of constructive criticism. Because criticism's how you get better. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. And for the last time, this has been the Frying Pan Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great day. Have a great whatever. Have a good one. I've been Robert D'Onofrio.
I have not been Robert D'Onofrio, because it is I.
He has not.
Daniel. Take care,
Daniel.
little babies.
That was kind of creepy. Have a good one, folks.